I weighed it out. I got 10 ounces of chicken. It was 70 grams of protein. 68 grams of protein for chicken thighs. There was more chicken here completely. We're going to talk about men's mental health today. And one of the biggest problems with men's mental health is the problems they face with social media. Now, there's a difference between girls versus women. There's a difference between boys versus men. When girls date boys who are men, when girls date boys trying to act like men, they'll say all men are garbage. There's nothing wrong with that when girls do that. When girls generalize, girls hate the other gender, it's perfectly fine. Misandry, they're sexist. Misandry means they hate men for no reason. So this is very normalized nowadays, and it gets promoted as positive behavior. Like, if you are misandrist, it gets promoted as being empowered, independent, and feminism. This is not okay. And a lot of men go through this, and they get hatred from girls. And society is brainwashing these girls into thinking like drinking, smoking, doing drugs, being a hoe is normal, and freedom, empowerment, feminism, activism. It's not. And then on top of that, as a guy, anytime you have your opinion, you have preferences, you try to share or do anything, you try to take care of your mental health. If you do not want to put up with the drama, you don't want to pay someone all of their bills, you don't want to put up with their drama, you don't want to put up with their high body count, anything, you're the bad person. Anything you say or do as a guy, you're insecure, you're toxic, you're controlling, you are an incel. The girls like to gaslight and play victim and always blame the guy. And the problem with this is, like, you can't speak your mind as a guy. As a man, anything you say or do, you're automatically wrong. You open your mouth, you're sexist, you're misogynistic. Girls, they open their mouth, they hatred towards men. Oh, your empowerment. Yeah, all men are crap, all men are garbage, all men are pigs. So I wanted to talk about this stuff. You constantly see this, and now you have like people like Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, all these people supporting men's rights, and you have women supporting men's rights too. So when men, they love to talk about toxic femininity, and the double standards they go through. The body count is the only double standard like I've ever heard from them. I think if a girl sleeps with a lot of people, she's a hoe. I also think the same thing about a guy. So the body count's out the window. Now what happens is, when men bring up the double standards they go through, they bring up toxic femininity, girls shut the fuck up real quick. They love to act like none of them have ever done anything wrong. They love to generalize and say all men are bad. I've met fake girls trying to act like grown women. There's a difference. I'm done. Like, I'm not playing this game. I know there's good women out there, but there's so many fake ones trying to act like grown women. So you have to get rid of them. You have to just ignore them. You have to like tell them off. And the same thing for these girls. But when girls date boys that try to act like men, it's easy to see through that. But they constantly put up with their BS, and then they'll say all men are garbage. So you see all the men now, it contributes to their depression. It contributes to, like, you're constantly being told you're shit. You're constantly being told you're horrible. You're constantly being told you're not the prize, that the girl is the prize. You're constantly being put down. You're constantly being talked down to in society. And girls, like, nobody holds them accountable for their words or actions. And now that we are, they do not like this. When men stand up for themselves and their beliefs and talk about the double standards they go through and hold these girls accountable for their words or actions, they don't like that shit, man. And like, this pisses me off seeing this, because I've gotten that stuff my whole life. And now girls in general do that, but brown and Asian girls, I know brown and Asian guys, some of them really, like, they have internalized racism, but brown and Asian girls have that internalized racism where they're proud of it, and they hate the men from their own ethnicity. They say all brown and Asian guys are pigs, they treat their women like shit, and I'm over here like, I don't do that. But, you know, it makes me feel like shit too. You're just talking shit about all guys, and you're putting down every other guy, so all the good men don't want to freaking date no more, because you guys constantly talk smack and say negative shit about them. And on top of that, there's these girls, brown and Asian girls will say stuff like, oh, in my culture the man pays for everything. And then you bring up, well, in your culture, doesn't the woman also cook and clean? They pull the sexist card, but it wasn't sexist when they said the same thing about the guy, when they expect the man to conform to gender standards, but they aren't going to. So they think like a one-way street. They only think about themselves, and they'll treat the guy like shit if they don't do everything that they say. they don't want real men. They want these fruity guys who are pushovers and cucks that they could tell and do whatever they want. They could tell them to do whatever they want. They could walk all over them, treat them like garbage, and they're gonna listen. Simps. That's what they want. They don't want real men. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into this type of stuff, and this generation is messed up on a whole bunch of different aspects. Now, on top of that, if a man shared their experience about women, about these girls, no, you're generalizing. You're not allowed to share your opinion. You're not allowed to share. You're not allowed to have a preference as a man. Now, I'm a very tall person. I'm 6'3". If a girl says she wants someone 6 foot tall, nothing wrong with that. If a man says I want someone 6 feet tall, oh my God, you're body shaming. Don't judge her based on something she can't control. Well, that's my preference. A girl can want a specific ethnicity, skin color, hair color, eye color, body type. It's perfectly fine. As soon as a man says I have a preference, oh my God, you're disgusting, you're fetishizing. So anything a man says or does, you're automatically wrong. If your girl has respect or boundaries in her relationships, it's fine. When a guy does, you're controlling, you're insecure, you're toxic masculinity. But reverse, do the same things they're doing, watch how pissed off they get. And nowadays, like, if a guy doesn't want to pay all the bills, it's very expensive to survive out here, man. Very expensive to pay bills. So if the girls expect you to pay all their bills, man, this is being a gold digger. If someone is only going to be there when you pay all their bills, they want to be a stay-at-home wife, they don't want to cook and clean, they don't want to work. This is a different situation where I think if you're financially stable and you wanted to have a stay-at-home wife and you wanted to take care of the bills, that's fine. But as long as she's cooking and cleaning and doing something. Nowadays, they don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to work, they don't want to do shit. And on top of that, man, like, if you don't want to pay all their bills, they'll say, oh, if you're broke, just say that. You're gaslighting and playing victim, projecting the guy as a bad person. If you don't want to pay my bills, you're a bad person. So that's crazy, how they're trying to make the guy look bad. How you're the one who's broke and insecure. You're not. I thought, what happened to being a strong, independent woman? And at that point, like, they bring themselves to the table. That's all they bring. Well, the man's bringing himself to the table, so what the hell's going on, man? Like, you're not bringing anything else. It's 1-to-1. So both people need to invest their time and money into the relationship. That means if you're buying her breakfast, lunch, and dinner, she better be buying you breakfast, lunch, and dinner too, or else you're getting used. And a lot of men, they're like, oh, I have to pay. I'm the man. I have to pay. And you're like, you're getting used, bro. She's bringing nothing to the table but herself. You're bringing yourself to the table. She's offering you nothing but her body. You're offering her your body too. Know your worth. So when men know your worth, they don't like it. And now they make fun of men who want to be treated well in relationships. They'll say, when it's 2023, men want to get the princess treatment. It's not the princess treatment, man. It's wanting to be, they call men gay now because men want to be treated with respect and want to have an equal effort in a relationship. So if you're buying her breakfast, lunch, and dinner, she has to buy you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It has to be people even out. Both people make equal effort. If you're buying her gifts and spoiling her, she better be buying you gifts and spoiling you too. And now people are very selfish with relationships, especially girls. They only think for themselves. It's a one-way street where the man has to do everything. They don't have to lift a finger and do shit for the man. So now things have to be even. You have to have mutual respect. You have to invest your time and money into the relationship, and both people need to do that. So that's what I wanted to talk about. And dating's hard nowadays because of this. Society tells girls the wrong thing. Society tells guys just to hook up, drink, smoke, do drugs, whatever. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't hook up. But when I meet people who do, obviously they try to get me to do a bad influence. They try to get me to fold, peer pressure, and they try to get me to corrupt myself. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give up my morals and values just for a girl. So the lesson here is, guys, you know your self-worth. You are also the prize. Find someone who respects and values your time. Find someone who cares about your mental health. You both have to reciprocate. It's not a one-way street. It's a full circle. Both of you take care of each other. Both of you buy each other food, cook each other food, take care of each other. Mental health, physical health, motivate each other to be a better person and in the future. I didn't even start eating. That's my talk right now. I'm gonna do 2 separate videos, I think, for this. So yeah, men, hope you hang in there. I know there are good women out there. I hope you guys find them. And women, you know there are good men out there. I hope you find them too. That's it for this video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, guys. If you want to see more talks like this, let me know. Peace out and stay safe, y'all.